So if you're new to Peter and I talking, it's pretty much going to be unknown as a title, but the working title is Car Guys Talk. But here we're checking out the new C8 Corvette today, and it came out last night. Did you get a chance to watch it?
I watched it live, yeah. It was really boring for the first about 30 minutes.
Yeah, I watched a good portion of it, but thankfully I was able to skim through it and do the fast forward. But, I mean, it was cool hearing about some of their like engineering aspects, but hearing the story of just talking about the Zora for like half an hour.
Yeah, and they just kept going, and then like even the pre-show just like you're just like, all right.
Yeah, because
why can't this be a Dodge commercial? Start doing burnouts.
I thought they were going after all-wheel drive platform at that point because they were like, Zora has all-wheel drive, and I'm like, maybe the base model won't, but I think there's opportunity.
Z06 model.
Yeah, something like that.
ZR1 model.
Well, I mean, I think they know that the front engine is just, it's played out at this point. They can't really do it.
What has it been, 60 years?
Yeah.
For the Corvette?
And, I mean, there's been some experiments visually with people making like, what is it, like the shooting brake style Corvette. Lingenfelter did something like that, I think.
Forgot what I was going to say.
But, I mean, the car visually from the front three quarters is actually pretty nice. I dig it.
What do you think? I dig it a lot. And, like, the renderings, the drawings, they were pretty spot on from the get-go. And then, like, someone the other day was talking to me. They're like, yeah, you don't really know what you're looking at with the camo on. They worked at GM. And I'm like,
oh, yeah.
I know exactly what I'm looking at. Like,
I saw it, too.
They're like, how do you know it's a GM product? And I'm like,
because it's a GM
product.
It's
a GM product. And they're like, you don't really know till we take the cover off. And I'm like,
yeah, I do.
It's that.
Yeah, and it's also like, dude, you're in Warren and...
Yeah, like when I saw mine, I was like Maple in Birmingham, Michigan. Like, yeah, this is definitely a GM exec taking it for a ride.
Yeah. But, I mean, I think the only thing that's a little weird is their, like, air, like, intake, like, archway kind of thing by the door. I mean... It's different. I don't mind it though. I don't entirely mind it. I do need to see it in person.
I don't like right here how it like slants down inwards.
Yeah.
Like I feel like it's too sharp of an angle. It's like ching ching.
So this is where I think they're trying to get their brand language to come across in this product. So you can see a little bit of the Camaro going on right there. Like the
in the back end you do, but it is much like the back end, but it's way I think it looks way better.
Yeah.
Than like that spy shot.
Yeah, that spy shot was a terrible
Up
angle.
Above, it looked bad.
Yeah.
But like, you know what?
It's not
terrible.
Level,
good.
It's not terrible. But I think the coolest part is the fact that it's sub like $100,000.
True.
For the base model.
And was the base model with, what is it, 350 they said? Or was it the Z51, which is 495?
Well, yeah, so it's...
horsepower.
495 and 470 with the Z51 package, but they haven't noted what the price point is going to be for that package. So
see, it was only like a couple $1,000 option on the C7, so I can't imagine it's a whole lot because all
like
it is
going to be sub 10, closer to like probably like 8.
Yeah, it's probably like 7,500.
Yeah, something like that.
Because I mean, all it really is an exhaust, and I think it's a suspension.
And I think
it's like an M Sport BMW. You know, you
but I think it also has some electronic sway bar stuff.
Oh, it does?
Yeah, I think it has a little bit more than just like stiffer suspension or whatever. But I mean, also you're getting kind of McLaren-esque cues going on with having the classic mid roof or like the removable hardtop.
Yeah, but the C7 always, I mean, all the vets always had it. So that is really a vet thing.
Exactly, but now that it's in a mid-engine platform.
Now we're talking supercar territory.
Yeah, I mean, that's fun.
We actually are. People always talk the C7 as an exotic almost. Because if you get a Z06, you're
pushing it.
You're competing with a Huracan.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah,
dude.
like,
I mean, I think honestly, my V8 Miata with the LS3 would have some fun times pulling against my Huracan. But that's traction issues.
Yes. Well, this will fix some of those things.
Yeah, I mean, dude, this is an ultimate, like, daily driver.
This will become the new poor man supercar, aka the R8 replacement.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, definitely. It'll be like, that's what people call the R8 V8.
This is the GTR replacement.
Yes.
Although the GTR has much different styling. So if you're into the GTR...
See, GTR is like not so like mid-engine, like, I mean, it's not a mid-engine, obviously, but like, it doesn't have that supercar look.
100%.
Like, if you put this next to a Lamborghini and like a Ford GT, it would go together. It would be in the lineup. Like,
yeah, it could blend in the supercar rally.
Mm-hmm.
But the only odd part about it is, with it now being a somewhat different motor, I mean, the LT2...
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, it's related to the LT1 in a few components, but its layout's very different. And also, it has a dry sump on it. Like a interwoven dry sump. Mm-hmm. So that's new for like all the tuners to deal with. So someone's going to jump on this. Like Texas Speed is going to...
Oh, someone will do it.
They probably already are reaching...
I already saw Cletus already bought his reservation, so he'll do something nuts.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's a Corvette dude. Then Street Speed bought one. Well, he said he made his reservation.
Yeah, I think everyone that's into the Corvette community and has a little bit of extra cash is going to put a reservation down, just even to maybe make a flip on it. But, I mean, dude, it's a rad car for the money. And, I mean, the only weird part, really...
I hate the interior.
The interior.
It's just like, what are you doing?
Well, dude...
The two-spoke wheel, awful.
So I went to CCS, College for Creative Studies, did 2 years of transportation.
Yeah, you did this.
Yeah, so the fun part about this is I absolutely see the style that came from the studios that I was a part of. Mm-hmm. So you learn a certain way.
Isn't the studios like literally the old GM studios?
Yeah.
So, like where the original Corvettes got placed. So it's like...
Yeah, it's the birthplace. And in fact, I'm spacing on his name right now. Peters, the guy that was involved with the Corvette for a long time. The guy that designed the C7 and the Aztec? Yeah.
I forget his name, but I know what you're talking about. He designed the Aztec, then he came out the C7, the worst looking car, and the C7, which was like, when that came out, it's like, damn.
All right. It's beautiful. But his wife teaches at CCS, or used to teach at CCS. And so she has a very specific style, and so does every other like teacher. So you can kind of, when you see a product on the road, you can kind of see what generation of designer, and probably if they were Midwest or West Coast, or there's a few design schools on the East Coast, but for the most part, I mean, you can see if it's West Coast or CCS. Yeah. And there's a lot of CCS in this, I think. Like, what is this strip of buttons? Well, that's evident from, there's a lot of designers in the car design community that are really great artists, but they have never worked on a car, and they drive a Honda. So whatever. Maybe they drive Priuses even better. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure. The new Camrys are looking pretty good. So, but we got a phone ring. Flaw. Mute that. But that honestly, I think, is a cue of trying to be like a fighter jet. Going through one of those design seminars and talking about, hey, how can we make this more like a fighter jet? And I see the steering wheel in that. Yeah. But I also don't know why does it look squared off? Well, I think they're trying to get that square race car look. But I feel like it's almost too tall. Like, it doesn't look right. So that's definitely to address the gauge cluster. So it is, yeah, but it just makes it look funky. Yeah. It looks like it's a really with the long mid-engine platform, you get great visibility out the windshield, like as long as the nose isn't too long. But the issue really comes down to, like, can you see your gauges? Because, like, I can see out of the Huracan, great, but I have to kind of hunch down a little bit to actually see the gauge cluster. Like, if I'm backing up, the backup camera is blocked by the steering wheel. Really? Yeah, I kind of have to adjust. So it's annoying. When people, like, look at me, like, popping my, like, head out the window, making sure what I'm doing, they're like, don't you have a backup camera? You'd be like a Mercy owner and just, like, get that out of the whole car. I wish. Dude, if I had, like, pop-up doors, I actually would. You know, they've seen them where they sit on the door jamb, and they're just looking out. I mean, dude, that's like the shop manual instruction for like shop techs to back those cars up. So sit on door jamb and hang your whole body out. Yeah, just feather the clutch with your tiptoe. But dude, you can even see the toggle switches where they're trying to go for that like exotic feel, like almost fighter pilot. The Huracan has that going on. And if you look off to the door pulls, similar design language, but I mean, it's a GM product overall, so I'm not expecting to see crazy amount of like exotic materials. They say it's all leather and Alcantara, like, and not any.
Yeah, the C7 was pretty much leather. Like all of it.
I mean,
so I could
they're
see
getting good at that, but I mean, this center console, I don't think that's wrapped in leather or Alcantara. That's got to be plastic.
Probably.
Yeah, and that's where it's gonna identify itself as a GM product when it's in a lineup. Because I mean, dude, if you get in a McLaren, that whole thing is Alcantara.
I was just in one the other day, and it was the hottest thing on earth too.
Oh yeah,
the engine right there does not help, and the AC was full blast. I was like dying.
Yeah, with the Huracan, it's actually kind of funny. It's very Italian in its own German kind of way. It can be either very like cold and promptly cold, and then you're like, okay, I gotta turn this down a little bit, and then you're boiling again. You're like, oh, windows down. Oh shit, nope. What do I want?
Sign it off.
Yeah, you just gotta keep like adjusting it, and on a road trip,
oh, it's annoying,
dude. It's one of the many things that you're constantly adjusting on that car.
See, I do that anyways. I do it in my car.
Yeah, but
I'm like never comfortable. I'm like 70, 75, 70, 75, 65. I'm hot.
Yeah, I always felt like Fords have a little bit more like consistency with how cold they are or whatever. I mean, like
brake AC, I get condensation dripping out of my vents sometimes. In fact, it's that great.
Yeah, I've had like. Have you ever had the scary moment of smoke coming out of your air vents?
Never.
Yeah, I had a AC like condenser go bad or something. It was like smoldering out.
That's not good.
Yeah. But pretty much, dude. They also like went a little like Mercedes, like with the cluster there.
So like you see with the red stitching right in the middle of the center console. It feels like almost one of those Audi things where you rest your hand on and you have this knob under it, like all the Mercedes have. I feel like that's what it's trying to go for right there.
Yeah.
Right in the middle.
Well, that partially goes into I'm not sure what company is manufacturing those displays, but the OEMs don't manufacture those displays. So it's whatever third-party company is behind that technology. And I mean, yeah, it looks very similar to like an iDrive selector or something or the Mercedes one more accurately. But then you have those switches right in front of it, which I feel like you're going to hit accidentally all the time.
I can see that. And then you have the vertical ones, and you'll never find what's going on the big strip.
Well, it looks like you got your seat controls, your vent controls.
So it's all your climate up there.
Yeah, it's all your climate on that. That's little silly because you could have put that all on that touchscreen.
I feel like it's almost like a Panamera-ish, where it's like a big strip of buttons. You know, no, not a Panamera.
This came from a Cayenne. Sketch. This just came from a hot sketch.
Oh, probably.
There's like. Do you see those back lines behind the display? Kind of like what's going on here? It just looks like some like cretins coming out of the depths.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I mean it's the line continuing its arc.
I was saying last night, I was like, if they put the C7 interior in the C8, it would be like 10 times better. Just give me that full digital dash and we're good.
Yeah, honestly, I think they should have just made that whole arc line display. That would have been nice. Cooler. It wouldn't date as poorly because once you start having all these buttons and toggle switches, and I feel like 2 or 3 years, no supercar is really going to be in that platform. Look at the new Huracan Evo. It's got that full display.
Full display now.
Yeah.
It has like the Urus display.
I'm very envious.
You want that? See, I want Sync 3 in my car, but I only have Sync 2.
Oh yeah, dude, I've got like Sync 1.
Yeah. But I can get it put in my car. You can just replace the screens, but whatever.
Yeah, it's a pain in the butt though. I mean, it's not exactly practical. But I mean, dude, their like transmission though is kind of a little unknown because
the dual clutch.
Well, it's a dual clutch, and then it's also an 8-speed, and technically it has to be somewhat of a transaxle, unless if it's kind of like I'm not sure how they're like going about it because it's a mid-engine.
Mm-hmm.
So in theory, it has to be a transaxle or connected directly to a differential housing. Yeah. So I'm just not sure what's in their product line that really fits that.
Because nothing has that.
Yeah.
They've never done it before.
Yeah.
But then you never know. They could have outsourced it to some company that builds great ones.
I really hope they just sourced the right company for it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think that could be the failing point on the
C7 trans isn't that great once you start making power.
Yeah. I
like the Z06, like it's kind of it. The trans one. If you get the automatics, I know someone that just got their Z06. They tuned it, got a bigger pulley, completely blew it. They were just doing a burnout. Wheel just locked, stops, and you just hear it roasting the clutch, and you're just like, well, not the clutch, but the
so that's
torque converter.
Like a GM product. Is it like a T?
No, it was a Z06.
Oh yeah, I'm just saying the like transmission and.
It was an automatic. The 10 speed. I don't know what it was.
In those, but
all I know is like those cars don't even really handle more than 700.
Yeah. And
they're done.
Well, someone's going to bring these up to 1,000 pretty quickly.
Oh, easy. Someone just put a built trans in it, build the motor.
Yeah. Drop 30K into
Someone will do it.
Or just...
Lienfelder, who knows?
Do a reverse B is for build. Put a Huracan motor in it.
Yeah, you should buy one of these and swap the motors.
Yeah, get the base model for like 45 and then pick
put a V10 in it.
$30,000 motor.
Yeah, anything's possible.
Plus all the electronics to go with
all-wheel drive system in it and just everything.
Well, that's the thing.
Transfer the bodies and that's
honestly, dude, if they made an all-wheel drive version, I think they would sell a fair share of them.
I think all the old Corvette people are going to absolutely hate it.
Oh, yeah.
And all the young people are going to love it.
Yeah, it's moving
I've seen mixed reviews with it. Let's take a
moving forward. How long are they going to keep building to the guy that...
The front engine.
Yeah.
V8.
Jean shorts,
white shirts. You're wearing jean shirts.
I'm
talking, man. Get your white socks, your New Balances on.
I am in Corvette dad outfit right now to discuss Corvettes.
Perfect.
Yeah, but dude, I mean, they also have a lot of storage in it though. Like if
they had a whole golf club in the front. Golf bag. That's like no front.
It could be the ultimate rally car, because I mean. It's cheap enough where you really don't have to care. Yeah,
you're just like, the depreciation isn't that bad. It won't really hit a rock bottom, but it won't like always go down.
Well, dude, the depreciation on a $50,000 or $60,000 car, whatever you lose.
It's nuts.
I mean, say you lose 50% of that.
Think about my car. I bought it was $32,000 sticker. I bought it for $16,000 2 years later.
Exactly.
With 20,000 miles on it.
Yeah, but
that's
think about
a huge drop.
Think about the depreciation on supercars. It's the same thing.
Yeah, but you're just taking bigger numbers. Exactly.
Yeah. So, I mean, I would rather take the depreciation factor of a Corvette just eating shit, just like beat it up on a track and be like, oh, what warranty? Whatever.
Exactly. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, but...
It's, what is it, a third of the price of a Huracan? Less than that?
Around there after you put some good stuff into it. I mean, because you can't get a stock one and just... leave it there.
No,
I would, if I picked one up, I would want a twin turbo on it. It would work.
I really do like it though.
No, I love the fact that you can go full Corvette and remove the hard top and throw it in the back. It doesn't even matter. You're not like, oh, I'm on a road trip, can't do that.
No,
no, you got enough space. You have a front trunk and a back trunk, and I bet you. I mean. There's enough little area behind the seats probably to fit a backpack or two.
Oh yeah, and put some clothes back there. It's whatever.
Yeah, but I mean, dude, you would get one if you could?
I would. I'm hoping the C7 market drops after this.
I bet you it will.
I see. The thing was, people were always thinking like it might go up if this is a huge flop, but I don't think it's really going to be a flop.
So many Corvettes.
There's so many. They're right now at like you get a clean one for 35.
Yeah. Definitely.
Not if it's down to like 30 even, I'm jumping.
Yeah, and dude, you could get like a nicely modified one with a good amount of power.
Depends where you buy it. It's always sketchy when you buy modified ones.
Oh, 100%.
100%. I really would like a Grand Sport to drop down to like 35, but then I'd make the jump because then you have the big wide body and you get the wing.
Well,
I just can't afford a Z06 at like 60 grand still.
What do you think is going to come from this platform from GM? Do you think they're going to do like a wider body on it? They throw a big wing on it?
I'm sure they're going to do something with it. They're gonna have to make a Z06 version or whatever they're going to call it. They're going to have to make a supercharged version. They're going to have to make the ZR1 limited one.
Well, because is it really worth buying the base one at that point? Because most Corvette guys are like thinking like $495, like that's.
It's like a regular C7.
Yeah,
it's $495. What are they? $480 something.
I mean, but they're sub 3-second timing. That's pretty rad. But that's with the crazy package on that.
True, that's with the Z51 package.
Yeah. So I mean,
that's not that crazy of a package though, because I mean that's just like you can get that on any single vet.
True.
It's not even like a standalone
so the
version.
car that we're looking at now
is just a Stingray.
No, but it's got that package and
Z51
it's got
package.
Yeah, I think so.
It has a little bit different of appearance. I know on the C7, the Z51 had a little bit of different appearance. It had an active exhaust.
Yeah, and it has
and suspension stuff.
So yeah, this has like front splitter. I don't like the wheels; they look so aftermarket.
I didn't mind them because of that. I thought it worked with the car.
Have you ever seen a Falcon F7? They're made out in Holly, Michigan.
I have, but I can't like.
They've been to the auto show plenty of times, stuff like that. But if you look at this rear 3/4, you really see it in the rear archway. So because they have the canopy top like that, or and they run very similar wheels even, and I mean it's pretty much that same like design ethos. It's all aluminum frame and Corvette engine with a transaxle. So, except I think there's a lot of people that have done that like build like scenario. I mean, like the Factory 5 GTM, it's not aluminum, but mid-engine Corvette. It's been done by like car builders for a long time. So
it's like the Gladiator. People always built it, then they finally came out with it.
Yeah, and
people wanted it, and then they finally made it.
And what would you rather have? A hacked up JK turned into a truck, or a
factory OEM, one, warranted?
Yeah,
perfectly running.
Would you rather have a kit car, or
a real one?
Yeah, because dude, you're gonna spend like $60,000 on building a kit car. This is gonna tank the kit car market, I think. Because like so many dads are just like, well, could buy that.
Could just buy one from the dealership.
Yeah.
I just can't wait to see one in person. That's the really big thing. You're seeing like a real photo and then actually seeing it in person.
I'm also curious about how tall it is.
I'm gonna guess it's pretty much the same as the C7. It's not gonna be tall.
I don't know, dude. I like it. But I agree. Gotta see it in person.
I gotta see it in person first.
The proportions.
I'm just hoping really the C7 takes.
Because there's a lot of, they tried to get like what they said was like a muscular, like aggressive design to it.
See, to me, it almost looks Ferrari-ish.
Definitely.
Like if you like chop off just a little bit of the front, a little bit of the back, I'd say I'm looking at a Ferrari. You just get the American. The minute you get to not even really. Once. The front end, if you took the badge off,
why?
I would almost say that's a new Ferrari coming out.
That's the roots that they probably should have abandoned. I'm not big on the flags.
But that's the vet. They're never gonna get rid of it. At least for now. And they keep changing it.
Like ghosted it. Like that big badge on the front. Immediately,
that's an easy. Delete.
Oh, yeah, no, but look at the steering wheel design. The steering wheel design is literally the badge upside down.
You're right.
It's the V.
You're right.
So,
and I honestly hate the steering wheel. Like, this is the one thing that just destroys the car for me.
I feel like that was a designer who, he was just like, all right.
He's an artist, not a designer.
Oh, yeah. So, actually, you know what? That might have even been just a CAD modeler that threw it together, and then it got approved. Stuff like that happens. I mean, when designers are moving slow,
it's just like it's a two-spoke. That's what I can't get over it. It's just like an ugly looking two-spoke wheel. Like
I think it would have looked better if they had a small little base spoke. Yeah, they could have not even chromed it and just made it black.
Would look better.
it would have looked.
It just also looks like a square almost.
Yeah. I mean,
like that's not that much of a turn on the side, angle on the side, and then it's like flat, and yeah, it looks too tall. It looks like there's more steering wheel on the top than there's on the bottom, and it is.
I guess the instrument display like interrupted by the steering wheel, and have an appropriately shaped and sized steering wheel.
I was about a C7 wheel on it.
It will work. Probably the same electrical connections and probably the same steering shaft. I'm sure
thread,
or not thread, but like, you know what I mean. But yeah, I mean, overall, dude, it's pretty cool. I think the fact that they emphasized like we are now doing a larger stitching on the like interior, that was a little weird. It's like
they're just trying to talk about it. There's anything they could say.
Well, I just feel like it was like really like a complaint that like people actually made. They were like, dude, you guys are like, you got some weak interiors, and they're like, look, we made the interior customized. Like you can customize it now. Like get 3 different seats that all look the same. I mean, seriously, did you see the renderings of the seats?
Yeah.
And they were like the basic, sport, and then like sport cup or whatever. And I was just like,
those are even looking more supercar-ish for the seats, though.
The seats do look appropriate.
What? Yeah, they do look appropriate.
Yeah, they're very appropriate for a supercar, but I just didn't see the differentiation between 3 different seats.
See, the C7 just came with a base seat and then a competition seat, and the only thing different was just big bolsters.
Yeah, I think the like hardcore seat really should be a hardcore seat, not like
carbon fiber McLaren seat in there where you're the most uncomfortable thing you've ever been in.
Yeah, 100%. I think that should be the payment of you're an idiot and bought the wrong seats. Pain after 2 hours.
Yeah.
I mean, that sucks for any Performante owner, though.
I was in the Ford GT and I was like, ooh, these are pretty bad.
I was curious about that. How they're pretty bad.
They're just stiff. It is what it is. Carbon fiber with little pads on it. There's no flex in the seat at all.
Yeah, I keep trying to catch up with my friend that has one, and just like either trade keys. I know my Huracan is not nearly the value, but
yeah, aftermarket they're going for like over $1 million. The GTs at the moment.
I think
I rode in one, and I just remember the driver that was in it had a reach in his pocket, and he elbowed me so hard in the rib cage, and he just like, sorry, this is. He's like, hold on, I just got to get it, because I mean, we're touching shoulders. Like if he just went like this, we were just touching.
Oh, so it's like
it's
like the interior size of like a Radical or like another like Ultima, something like that.
So yeah, pretty much if you take the 2 little like winglets of the chair, like this little area.
Yeah, that's your.
Here's one chair. There's the start of the other chair.
Wow.
It's about 1 inch gap between the 2 seats.
No fat chicks.
Oh no. No.
Yeah, I mean that.
I was in it, and literally, like I said, like he had to grab his wallet out of his pocket. I just was like the whole time.
That'd be sketchy on a road trip.
It would not be fun on a real road trip, and it just seems little because it keeps getting smaller right around you, and you're just like, this would be so much better if there was like a half a foot in between us, just not this damn like 1 inch.
Yeah. I mean, how wide is the track width on that car?
I don't know on the top of my head.
I mean, I assume they didn't make it too wide to like fit within regulations for like Le Mans and stuff like that, because those cars have to be homologated for pretty much like all their race purposes. So definitely has some like constraints there, but that would piss me off to get that car. And
you can't daily it. It just isn't about. You can't You can't really take a road trip with it. Also, it just has the shittiest sound system on earth. Which, all right, you know, whatever. It's really a track car, so you really can't complain either about it.
There were like 1 or 2 on the Aces Bait Rally with me last year, and that guy was kind of plus size. I don't know how that worked.
We're 2 normal dudes, and I'm short, so I mean I fit in it perfect.
I mean, dude, he was like.
But my buddy that was driving it, he's like maybe 6 foot, and he only had like 2 inches of headroom. Like, it's a teeny cabin.
So it was his car.
No, he was borrowing it.
Okay.
Borrowing it for a photo shoot.
Yeah, I was like,
Who is a maroon one?
I think I've probably seen that.
He lives at the Animal Concourse. It stays there. And it has less than 500 miles on it.
investment.
It was an investment, yeah. It just gets driven like once a month, like 10 miles.
Just to keep it
going.
Keep it lubed up.
Yeah, and it was just very overall experience. Just you hear every rock hitting the carbon fiber wheel well.
But, I mean, I don't know what they're really gonna do sales-wise because of it's definitely aimed at some younger generations.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're definitely gonna get all the YouTubers.
Oh, you'll see it popping up real quick.
Yeah.
Everyone will be doing reviews on it in about give it a week after they come out.
I think the real testament will be like after the first year. I wouldn't want to get the first batch as much as I want one.
You never want the first batch of any car that comes out.
No. I mean, look at the Focus RS. I was worried about
gaskets.
Yep, exactly.
Did you ever blow it?
I traded that car in before I had that issue come up.
Good.
That was part of the incentive of trading it. I was like, this could be a real
It was
problem.
warranted anyways.
Yeah, but
more problems.
And overall, like, do you really want to be chasing down a warranty? They're like,
I'm sorry to cross my fingers. Ford's been great to me with my warranties.
Ford's usually pretty good, but they have a lot of recalls here and there.
Oh yeah, my car's had about 10. I've only owned it for to a year and a half.
Speaking of which, that's kind of like my main point with where I'm gonna wait to make my final, like, if I would purchase decision on this car.
Yeah, it's because it's so different. You never know. Like, vets are known, like, they're pretty reliable vehicles, but now it's so different. You don't know. Yeah, and
it's one of those things of it's a new, like, transmission perhaps, and I mean their suspension, their steering, everything was redesigned, so they probably beat it to shit. They said they never really had any big breakdowns when they were track testing it.
They had a Nürburgring for a while, and they just brought them back. There's a spy shot like a week ago, them loading like 8 of them in a trailer.
Yeah. So, and there were never any spy photos of them crashed or whatever, so unlike the GT500.
Unlike the Demon did that too.
Yeah, well, the Demon can't go around a circle.
Yeah, the Demon, there was like 2, I think there was 2 or 3 of those crashed on the
Where
spies.
did they try to test the Demon?
Someone crashed one on Woodward like a week before it was getting announced.
Oh, okay.
And it was like all over the Woodward page, and it was the meme of the week.
I wouldn't know. I was
banned at that point. I was born at the band at that point too. I just got it sent to me.
Yeah, well, I'm back in their good graces.
I'm still out of it. I don't really care.
Until they decide that they don't like our podcast.
And then they're like, "Oh, you 2 are out again."
Yeah, fuck you guys. But yeah, so let's wrap it up here. I mean, I feel like we kind of covered the whole car. I mean, there wasn't too many details disclosed yet, other than like horsepower, torque. Showed us the interior, exterior, and I mean, they talked about the lineage of it for probably a longer duration than they actually talked about the car.
It was kind of annoying.
But I mean, it's important. They spent a lot of time and money on it.
True.
And their presentation was pretty rad. I mean, the augmented reality that they like projected over the car.
That was cool. I actually thought that was really interesting.
Yeah, showing like the wind tunnel testing and stuff like that.
And the suspension, components.
I mean, or I guess lastly, I do appreciate how in depth they went with trying.
Hope we got a fire truck.
Yeah, these mics are pretty good.
Yeah, I'm hearing that in my.
All right. Well, hopefully no one's house is burning down.
Yep.
Yeah. So I mean, they spend a lot of time on.
Oh, wind on this side street with the houses up, maybe.
Oh, lovely.
Lovely.
But they spent a lot of time figuring out their casting. Did you see the part where they talked about how large their castings are for some of their architecture?
No, I don't think I saw that part.
So they reduced a lot of their welds by having incredibly large casted items, but they also spent so much time making sure that it was casted so precisely that they didn't have extra weight and all that. But ultimately, it should be stronger because there's not a bunch of weld points between the suspension and like engine mounts and everything.
Yeah, with that tendency, that'd be stronger too for some part. You're making it bigger, so you might lose a little longevity, but you're also not welding, which is.
But it's also cool for the aspect of picking up a crashed one, because you're not like, oh, I gotta cut this off, straighten this beam, and re-weld it. You're like, oh.
You have the right jig.
No, it's more of like, oh, dude, here's this, like, essentially their cradle. Like the cradle's cracked or, like, bent up. Unbolt this cradle. Go pick up a brand new one. Spend, like, what? Probably, like, $5-10 or something. But then you have a brand new car again.
Yeah. I just can't wait to see people start modding these things.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing, dude.
That's like the fun thing. Like, I want to see one twin turbo really bad already.
Yeah, because...
Like, I'm sure UGR will start hitting it up.
Once they're twin turboed or even twin charged, that would be rad. I mean, I don't know how much boost it will take. I mean,
you don't know, like, that's the big thing with the Mustang right now. Roush can't... They only make a stage 1 for the new one, the new upper facelift, because they change the lifters inside the motor.
Yeah.
So if you want to do stage 2 or 3 now, you have to build your motor and put new lifters in it. And at that point, you might as well just build the whole thing.
Fuck.
So, like, my buddy was talking that because he works at Roush. He's like, yeah, they don't know what to do because their sales are going horribly down because they only can sell a stage 1 tune.
I mean...
They keep blowing motors.
Yeah, I've heard Roush has had some interesting...
The first generation of the S550, that was a pretty solid kit. But now you, like,
2014... 2013, 2014, 2015, best years to modify a Mustang.
Best years. And now, the minute they put the facelift in, not many people know they changed the motor a little bit.
Yeah.
And it went to shit.
Yeah. I don't know. I still like the GT500, the new one.
Oh, I like it too. I just don't like the Fusion knob.
Yeah, okay.
The Ford GT had it too. It just had like a fancier, like, actual where you touch, but it was the exact same damn thing.
Yeah, I don't like the fact that they're going with like a turn knob to select your...
They just doing it because Dodge did it. I mean, Ram did it.
Well, it definitely has some practicality on... Actually, you know what? It's probably based on the transmissions.
Really?
Because their transmission that they're using, they use a lot of shared parts, the OEMs do, at that point when it's like comes down to transmissions. So...
Well, because think about this, probably, I'm going to guess, the Ford GT is has the same motor as the Raptor, just built different. I'm going to guess it's the same trans going in there too. Well, it can't be. Never mind. One's a mid-engine. Sorry. Wrong. Yeah. That was bad. Don't pretend I didn't say that.
Yeah, Peter thinks a truck transmission is...
yeah, that was really stupid. After I said it, I'm like, nah.
I mean, dude, the four-wheel drive on those Ford trucks, they haven't really reinvented that wheel all too much.
Maybe.
I mean, at least on my Raptor, which someone should buy. But...
right price. I'm looking for a truck. I can't afford a Raptor, though.
Yeah, the Raptors, they're good. They're good trucks, but I don't know about the... They're more for show.
They're just pricey for what it is.
Exactly.
But the Raptor community, that's a big community.
100%. But yeah, so we covered the Corvette, and we have jumped into a bunch of random topics.
How about Mustangs?
Corvettes.
Ford GTs.
Yeah. So if you've made it to this point, I really hope that you guys hit the like, subscribe button, and go check out Peter's channel as well. Peter, where can they find you at?
Just Peter Kokacher on YouTube and Instagram.
And TikTok.
And TikTok. Go follow my TikTok.
Yeah, he's got 90,000 or...
90.5 thousand at the moment. We went up.
That's a lot of 15-year-olds.
Yeah, it is what it is.
It honestly, dude, it is it's a cool thing.
Hey, you know what? They might turn into subscribers for the podcast.
No, 100%. 100%. So if you TikTokers see this, go subscribe to both Peter and I's YouTube channel.
Oh, he's on TikTok too. You got to follow Connor too.
Yeah, I will admit I am on there. So, all right. Thanks for listening, guys. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. See you next time.
See ya.